says that's the top story. The annual Orange Madness event.
Yeah, we got about a minute.
Tonight. We have live coverage. Okay, we don't have live coverage. Got it though.
We have
coverage of what's to come. Yeah, I just didn't see what I need to change in that. Are we killing top story Stinger?
I think we're gonna just float it, right?
Well, Stinger we should kill, right?
Probably.
What are you doing? All right.
I don't have anywhere to jump to though. Like if we don't do it, I can't just jump to law seminar. I don't have to.
20 seconds till show.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, we're just gonna read what comes up because that's all.
He needs to float it in ENPS.
That's what he needs to do. Yeah, he needs to move it down.
No, I need quad cam.
Orange Madness event is taking place at the Carrier Dome. We have coverage of what's to come.
Chancellor Ken Sifferood speaks to Citrus TV about the bear versus deer competition. What he has to say.
The Ebola conflict continues to take effect in the U.S. and is now affecting the SU campus.
Today we saw almost up to 70 degrees, but do we have snow coming up? I'll let you know in my full forecast.
All that and more, Citrus TV News starts right now. Good evening and welcome to tonight's Citrus TV News live at 6. I'm John Tummino.
And I'm Amanda Hari. Orange Madness kicks off in the Carrier Dome tonight, and we'll be talking about that later. But first, we're going to get to some of your campus stories.
SU's College of Law is today playing host an all-day diversity seminar today to promote inclusion in legal education. Seminar running from 8:30 to 4:30 had various speakers and group working sessions. The event meant to show SU Law's dedication to racial and ethnic acceptance.
Changes are coming to Waverly and Comstock Avenue beginning today. Portions of both roads are becoming two-lane traffic routes with a new bicycle lane and parking spot being painted in. The change is being called a pilot project and is expected to test for an increase in safety and pedestrian and bikes. Minor traffic delays are expected until early next week.
The Newhouse School was responding to backlash today after uninviting multiple Pulitzer Prize-winning photojournalists from a school event. Washington Post photojournalist Michelle DeCille was asked not to take part in Newhouse's fall photo workshop due to concerns about the Ebola virus. DeCille spent last month covering the Ebola outbreak in Liberia, causing concern he may have the virus. In an email sent to Newhouse students, Dean Lorraine Branham addressed the issue, saying the school doesn't want to contribute to irrational fear about Ebola, but felt they needed to make the cautious decision.
Nonprofit organization She's the First will be hosting a carnival tomorrow evening. The nationwide organization sponsors girls' education in the developing countries to help them to be the first in their families to graduate. The carnival will be held at the Sky Barn on South Campus with tickets costing $3.
Hillel is hosting its first annual Matzah Ball formal tomorrow. The formal is the first big social event for the organization in years. The formal begins with a traditional Havdalah prayer and then follows with dancing and snacks. It starts at 8 p.m. at the Hillel Center.
A two-day conference celebrating disabled college students will take place this weekend at the Sheridan and in Huntington Hall. Various keynote and discussions will take place as part of Disabled and Proud. The weekend conference is expected to be 2 times as big as it was in 2011 with 250 participants.
SU Chancellor Ken Sifferood started the deer versus bear debate over the summer on how to pronounce the city of Syracuse. Citrus TV's Marissa Palmer spoke to the Chancellor on how he plans to decide the correct pronunciation.
Now, you also opened the semester up with a bit of an inquiry that left a lot of the students puzzled. It regarded 2 animals, and I just wanted to know if you came to a verdict on whether you are a deer or a bear.
Well, so I was raised west of here, and my family said Syracuse, which would make me a deer, Syracuse. It wasn't until I came back that I realized half the people here say Syracuse, which is bear. So I am still waiting for the competition that will determine whoever wins, I'm going to say it their way. I'm going to discipline. I've had lots of volunteers, including from faculty, coaches, alumni donors, politicians, students, including in sororities, fraternities, teams, clubs, and they're all over the map. So I'm hoping that Rec Services will put together kind of a two-part event between different people who advocate for Bear and Syracuse and different people who advocate for Syracuse.
Battle it out.
You know, kind of some trivia contest, an athletic contest, and that whoever wins, I'll say it their way from now on. I don't think I should be anchored in my past.
Oh, right.
But my past is definitely Syracuse.
Me too. I'm the same.
Well, I'm told that in the Newhouse School they beat Syracuse into you rather than Syracuse, but I'm told in some other schools that's a source of resentment towards the Newhouse School. So we wouldn't want to have that.
Can't be biased that way, no.
But I want to be clear. I'm just trying to decide how I say it. I would not impose that pronunciation on Newhouse or anyone else. So.
Coming up next, updates on the Ebola outbreak and how precautions are being taken close to campus.
And another state has legalized same-sex marriage. Find out what state when we come back.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 88 children is diagnosed with autism. That's a 1,000% increase in the last 40 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. Well, teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So we're getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
It's not deteriorating. I cannot tell you at this particular time why we have said fair because of patient confidentiality, but she is quite stable now and resting comfortably. Any idea how long she might be?
That was Dr. Anthony Fosi from the National Institute of Health speaking on Ebola patient Nina Pham. The Dallas nurse potentially spread the virus on a flight from Ohio to Texas earlier this week. Several students from Texas schools were on the flight, causing those schools to shut down as a precaution. In response to Pham's actions, health officials have banned anyone who had contact with Ebola patient Thomas Eric Duncan from using public transportation. Amid the fear, President Obama has named VP Chief of Staff Ron Klain as Ebola Kazar to oversee efforts to combat the spread of Ebola.
Back here in Syracuse, Governor Andrew Cuomo has designated Upstate University Hospital to be one of 8 across the state to be equipped to treat Ebola patients. Upstate Medical and 7 other selected hospitals in New York City, Long Island, and Rochester will create isolation units in case anyone in New York contracts the virus.
A sentencing has been decided in the loud music killing case. 47-year-old Michael Dunn has been sentenced to life in prison without parole for killing 17-year-old Jordan Davis. Dunn was convicted of first-degree murder earlier this month for shooting into an SUV full of teens in Florida. Dunn shot and killed Davis after an argument over loud music. The death penalty was not considered because Dunn claimed that he acted in self-defense.
Same-sex couples have begun marrying in Arizona. This comes just after Attorney General Tom Horne dropped his appeal of the Supreme Court ruling, which strikes down the Arizona same-sex marriage ban. Some county clerks are already offering marriage licenses, others still making preparations. This decision makes Arizona the 31st state to allow same-sex marriage.
Vice President Biden's son is leaving the Navy after testing positive for cocaine. The Navy Reserve discharged Hunter Biden back in February, but no reason was publicly given. The VP's youngest son had worked as a public affairs officer in Norfolk, Virginia until his discharge. Biden says he respects the Navy's decision and is moving forward with the support of his family.
Former Iraqi Air Force pilots are reportedly training Islamic State militants to fly captured warplanes. According to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, ISIS fighters are flying the warplanes above the Jarrah Air Base in Syria's Aleppo province. The observatory also says this is the first time ISIS has become airborne.
16 people are dead in South Korea today after a ventilation grate collapsed. The victims were standing on the grate at an outdoor concert when it caved in, falling more than 60 feet to their deaths. Officials say they don't know what caused the accident, which also left 11 other concertgoers seriously injured. The incident has now caused many to call for better safety regulations across the country.
An agreement has been reached in Nigeria and Boko Haram conflict. Nigerian police report that a deal includes a ceasefire agreement with the Islamist terrorist group and the release of 200 kidnapped schoolgirls. The Nigerian government has also agreed to terms by Boko Haram. However, those details have not been released. Talks are expected to continue in Chad for the next week.
Final arguments are made in Oscar Pistorius' sentencing hearing today. The Olympian is facing up to 15 years in prison for culpable homicide in the shooting death of his girlfriend, Reva Steenkamp. In their final arguments, the prosecution asked that Pistorius be sentenced to 10 years in prison. On the other side, the defense asked for 3 years of house arrest and community service, claiming Pistorius is a broken man who has suffered enough.
We're joined now by Megan Mystery, who's made it back from the Dome for Orange Madness. Megan, give us a little preview of what's going on over there.
Well, students have already begun lining up at Gate E, where they can use their student ID to get in free. They've been there for over 40 minutes now, and that's an hour and a half early for the event. Doors will open at 7, and with their ID, they can get free t-shirts, nachos, drinks, and they can even participate in the dunk contest this year. So Orange Madness looks to be pretty exciting.
So this is all students, not just students with season tickets?
No, this is for all students. Any student can attend with their SUID, and then the public can attend as well for $5.
Now, you mentioned how people are going to be competing in the dunk competition. Are there any other changes this year that are different from previous years?
Yeah, they went ahead and added 11 to 12 selfie stations around the backcourt of the Dome, so people can come and take a selfie with a player or an SU legend. Derek Coleman and Pearl Washington will be at this year's Orange Madness.
Oh,
so.
Some big names,
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, pretty exciting.
Well, Megan, thanks for having us. Thanks for coming, and thanks for your report. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now on to Caroline with the weather.
67 degrees outside right now. The winds are coming in at 15 miles an hour, so it feels a little bit cooler, but you don't have to worry about grabbing a jacket if you're going to head on over to Orange Madness. Looking at our temperatures across the northeast, it's a little bit cooler farther over to the west, 60 in Buffalo, whereas we're a little bit closer to 70 degrees, and that's because we've got some rain in our future. Our dew points, we're a little on the uncomfortable side, on the farther range of comfortable, and that's because of all the moisture we're going to see. These two low pressure fronts are pushing the cold air and the storms as well across the northeast, and we're going to see that here. These ones are swirling here over Michigan, and we expect those to hit us within the next couple of days. Tonight, it's only going to be 58 degrees, so again, not really much need of a jacket, although winds will be anywhere from 10 to 20 miles an hour. Tomorrow, it's going to have a 60% chance of rain, so if you're going to be outside, grab an umbrella. Rain's 12 to 22 miles an hour and a high of 63. Looking at our 5-day, again, 60% chance of rain tomorrow, 30% chance on Sunday with a high of only 48 and a low down in 38. Monday, it's going to be a 30% chance of rain, so again, keeping that in our future, it's going to be 52 degrees, which is going to be about the coldest that we're going to see, 35 that night, and then a 40% chance of rain on Tuesday and Wednesday in the low 50s.
Caroline, there's a lot of rain on that forecast. Do you think we're going to see it all of those days?
We might see scattered showers. I know on Monday and Tuesday in particular, and Sunday and Monday, it's going to start out a little dry, maybe some sun. That's why there's the sun in with those clouds, so it won't be raining the whole time. It'll just be scattered.
Looking ahead to next weekend, do you see any sun coming out there?
I hope so. Hopefully this storm will move through and we'll get some more sunshine when it's gone.
So for this storm, are all the temperatures going to stay high enough that we won't see any snow?
It might during the day. When it gets down at night is when it gets a little tough because it's going to be at 35. It might dip down to 30. We don't know yet, specifically because it's still moving through here, but hopefully we won't get any just yet.
Yeah, cross your fingers.
I hope so, yeah.
Wouldn't like to see it yet. Thanks a lot, Caroline.
Thank you. Up next, Apple has officially released a new iPad.
And Starbucks just made it even more convenient to get your coffee. We'll be right back.
We are different. Society should aspire to be more like us.
Be part of the first class. Get energized. Get outside.
Hold on, guys. It's gonna get bumpy.
And get moving. Experience the power of physical activity. Join the movement at ActionHeroAlliance.com.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans. These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our co-workers, their kids go to school with our kids. Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. But so is the solution.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Today, about 1 in 5 Americans is living with a disability. Over 50 million people, including many of our friends and neighbors, teachers and co-workers, heroes and leaders. 20 years ago, the Americans with Disabilities Act guaranteed every person the right to live, work, and participate fully in the American experience. We've come a long way since then, and we are committed to making even more progress in the years ahead. Visit disability.gov to see how you can help.
The World Health Organization warns that more energy drinks means more trips to the emergency room. According to a recent WHO study, energy drinks typically contain more than 5 times the amount of caffeine in a single cup of coffee and can lead to caffeine intoxication.
The organization added that there's also a growing trend of young adults mixing energy drinks and alcohol. According to the study, this makes the drinkers feel less intoxicated than they actually are, leading to even more impaired judgment. As we enter cold and flu season, a new study says fewer people are going to work sick. An annual study conducted by Staples shows 60% of workers still go to work when they're sick, a 30% decrease from last year.
This is the first time in 5 years that the percentage has decreased. Despite the promising drop, many are still concerned that 40% of workers feel they can't take sick days. The new Apple iPad Air 2 is available for pre-order today and will ship by the end of next week. Apple executive Tim Cook says they work to make the screen thinner, extend battery life to 10 hours, and add some iPhone features, including a fingerprint reader.
The newest device starts at $499. Cook added that Apple Pay, announced last month, will begin working in stores Monday thanks to hundreds of retailers and banks agreeing to accept the system. Apple isn't the only company with a mobile pay system. Starbucks now has a way for coffee lovers to beat the morning rush. From your phone, Square, a leading company in the mobile payment industry, unveiled an app that lets you order your coffee in advance. Starbucks will have it waiting for you in the store.
Starbucks says it will use the app to enhance its customers' loyalty and rewards programs, adding that we can expect to see a national rollout of the program in 2015. Effective immediately, CBS is offering its own online streaming service for phones, tablets, and computers. CBS says They want to offer most of their programs to users who don't always have access to cable or are on the go, an additional $6 a month.
However, the service called CBS All Access won't carry football games or even a complete lineup of CBS shows. CBS did say, however, that they plan to offer a more extensive service to compete with HBO Go sometime in the near future. Actress Misty Upham found dead today at the age of 32. The August Osage County actress had been missing since October 6th. Her family found her body during a search party effort.
According to her father, Upham had bipolar disorder and may have been off her meds. No cause of death has been determined. There's new information today on the death of comedian Joan Rivers. The New York City Medical Examiner says Rivers died of brain damage due to lack of oxygen to the brain.
The report indicates a spasm of the larynx during a surgical procedure made it difficult for Rivers to breathe, causing health complications. No doctors have been named responsible. Now to sports.
Coming up on sports, we'll brave the icy elements of a hockey rink to bring you Rangers highlights, swim in the freezing waters of the Bay to find out who will join the Royals in the World Series, and then worst of all, attempt to talk about the Jets. It's all coming up in sports, and it's all next, so stick around.
Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking. Viking.
Red state. Blue state. Vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown. Night owl.
Early bird.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities, our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Football got you down? Can't wait to see a team win in the Carrier Dome? Have no fear, basketball season is here. Well, almost. As we discussed earlier, fans can get their first look at the Syracuse men's and women's basketball teams tonight at Orange Madness, 8 o'clock in the Carrier Dome. The annual event will include scrimmages, a dunk contest, and a photo booth. There will be no musical performance this year, and unfortunately, Hilby, the skinny German juggling boy, will not be returning. Breaking news out of the NFL, ESPN is reporting that the Jets have traded for speedy wide receiver Percy Harvin of the Seattle Seahawks, giving up a conditional 2nd through 5th round draft pick in the process. But it didn't come quick enough for this week as the Jets took on the Patriots last night in Foxborough. Picking things up in the fourth quarter, 8 minutes to go. Patriots with a slim 1-point lead looking to extend it. Tom Brady finds the oft-concussed Danny Amendola in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. That would put the Pats up 8, but the Jets would drive down minutes later. Geno Smith throwing for the touchdown. That would bring the Jets within 2. Trying to tie things up, the 2-point conversion overthrown, incomplete to the back of the end zone. But the Jets weren't done. One last gasp, 15 seconds to go. Geno Smith finds Chris Ivory down inside the 40-yard line. 2 seconds left, game-winning field goal. It's blocked. The Jets with a chance to win it from 58 yards, but the Patriots would block the kick, and the Jets fall to 1-6. Hockey season is upon us. The Rangers fell 3 wins short of the Stanley Cup last year, instead watching the Los Angeles Kings raise the trophy. After winning their first game to start the season, the Rangers ride a 3-game losing streak into last night's game with Carolina, hoping to turn things around. We'll pick things up in the second period, all tied up at 0-0. That would change pretty quickly. Chris Terry scores from the left wing, giving the Hurricanes the lead. Moving on to the third period, Rick Nash with the steal and a chance to equalize, but he would be denied by goalie Anton Hudobin. And the Rangers would have to wait to find their equalizer, but not too long. Later on in the same period, it's Derek Brassard who ties things up at 1 goal apiece. That's how regulation would end. On to the penalty shootout. Rick Nash redeems himself, finds the back of the net to put the Rangers up, and the Hurricanes would have one last chance to set things even. It's Ryan Murphy, but his shot is stopped by Henrik Lundqvist, and the Rangers take this one in the shootout 2-1. Moving on to baseball, it's an even year, and that means the Giants are threatening for the World Series berth. Don't tell Tony Cruz, though. He puts the Cardinals up 3-2 in the top of the 4th inning with a solo shot, and that's how the score would remain until the 8th, when Michael Moore, stepping in as a pinch hitter, finds the seats with a solo home run of his own. That would tie things up 3-3 heading into the 9th inning. The Cardinals, though, threatening, bases loaded, 2 outs. Nothing but a ground out. Oscar Taveras grounds out to end that half of the inning, sending things into the bottom of the 9th. The Giants runners on first and second, a chance to go to the World Series, and Travis Ishikawa finds a home run deep inside himself, and the Giants will take on the Kansas City Royals in the Fall Classic. Syracuse football needs a break, owning a 4-game losing streak and fresh off a loss to the #1 team in the country. Luckily, the Orange face off against a team struggling just as much, Wake Forest. Syracuse travels to Winston-Salem to face off against the Demon Deacons tomorrow at noon, with freshman quarterback A.J. Long getting his first career start. The game will be televised on the Yes Network and ESPN3.
So, Tyler, we just got some breaking news. Syracuse is to go in front of the NCAA's Infraction Committee at the end of this month. What's happening there?
Well, we're not really sure. We know this is part of a year-long investigation that the NCAA has been conducting against the program. Normally, when they go up against a hearing against a committee of this size, it means some sort of major infraction. As soon as the hearing is over, if this is like any past NCAA hearing, which have 30 to 60 days to hear the verdict, could mean big trouble for the Syracuse men's basketball program.
Oh, let's keep an eye on that.
Yeah, let's hope nothing happens. Thanks.
Thanks a lot. We'll be right back after this.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org. You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
So there's a good chance it could be raining by the time we wake up tomorrow morning. What's it going to look like? Do you think it'll look that way? I mean, do you think it'll extend that far into the day?
I think we actually have a better chance of it not raining in the morning to start off with. There's only about a 20 or 30% chance of rain in from anywhere 8 o'clock to noon, and it'll still be around those 50 degrees, but as the day goes on, we'll have a better chance of rain.
Yeah, well, hopefully it doesn't happen too much, all right? Thanks
Thank
a
you
lot.
very
We
much.
appreciate it. Seems like sometimes President Obama can't get a break anymore. Congressman Mitt Romney, even his wife, I know, take shots at him every once in a while. Now it appears cash registers turning against the POTUS as well.
A downtown Manhattan eatery refused to accept his card when he tried to pay for dinner. According to Obama, the card set off a fraud alert because he doesn't use it enough. Unfortunately, this meant that Michelle was stuck with the bill instead.
Well, thankfully, President Obama, this was with his partner, partner for life, and not a first date. Otherwise, it could have ended up pretty disastrously.
Yeah, it would have been really awkward for him.
Well, that's it for Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm John Tummino.
I'm Amanda Hari. Thank you for watching, and be sure to check us out on social media and answer our question of the day. Have a good night, Syracuse.